My ultimate is not ready.
Embarrassing.
Barrier created.
B.
Here. Enemy
B.
spotted B.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Nice.
Awal yang cerah.
Don't stress if I die.
Pistol ini gak menentukan sih tapi.
Sialan, baru dia accept sama si Wintermelon. Bajigur.
Demon coba. Mau main gak habis ini kayaknya?
Tak IG-nya coba aku.
Gatel, cok.
Time for a field test.
Yo bang.
Yoi.
Wall raised.
Ayo.
Spike down A.
Jampet. Belum entry kok.
Bomnya drop gak lagi?
Enggak
Drop, cok. Iku lho depannya
iya.
Sage apa, cok?
Iya.
Hold.
Crossfire aja, crossfire guys.
Wait.
Reloading.
Go. They are already see. Go. Help me.
Care flank.
Feed us in.
30 seconds left.
Dua-duanya lo iko. Gak saya. Adu mekanik aja, cok. Menang. Pakai drone. 100%.
Iya, Cok.
Ayo.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Anjing.
10 seconds left.
Ya.
Placing sentry.
Kanan lu. Enak.
I know what must be done.
Phoenix, can you be? Oke.
Turret out.
Oke, berani.
Sow your chaos.
Barrier created.
Enemy spotted A.
Medic. For you.
Rotate.
Tunggu aja sampai sana. Robotku belum nembak.
Menang angle kok. Mid-nya. Hello guys, mid.
Sets. What Sivan please sets.
What the hell?
Enemy spotted. B.
Last player standing.
Udah, depan lo satu. Just hold your angle, bro. Don't go out.
What Sivan sets.
I'm saving.
Crossfire aja bang, enak nih. Gue depan tumbal nih.
We go. Wall raised.
spotted. Go.
Expounded.
Remove.
Nice.
Enemy spotted A. Here.
Main close range aja kalau kan pakai ku. Susah.
Ada cok di situ.
Aku harus mati, cok.
Turret out.
Wait. Go.
One enemy remaining.
Ah. Oh my god. Kanan. Ini loh. Ah, goblok.
Mancuk. Gak lihat cok aku cok tadi.
Paint. Check.
Mana pandal polosnya?
Check.
Kamu pakai skin aja.
Nowhere in
Oh.
sight.
Gak ada duit cok aku.
Loh, aku beliin.
Gak apa pakai skin
Can I
aja.
get this? Thanks.
Placing sentry.
Wait. OTW guys.
Let me show you how the boss does it.
Need help.
Barrier created.
Masuk.
Nice.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Get it.
Multiple enemies B.
Belum.
Belum masuk.
Mid, check mid guys.
Cari event please.
I'm holding A.
Satchel out. Reloading.
Rasanya rotate deh. Someone go A please.
You will not kill my allies.
Info please. Hello.
Masih belum ada cok.
Mid.
B.
30 seconds left. Last player standing. Spike planted.
Ada jet nih kananmu.
Ah, memek. Cocok.
They think they know pain. They can't begin to comprehend.
Tajat lagi kalau gitu. Berai.
Placing sentry.
Mau ngejudge. Oke. Kristal.
Let's go.
Need help.
Mana bang? Aku sini aja bang.
Wall raised.
Come on, let's go. Bunch of guys B.
Here.
B.
Belum.
Wes. Oh mana wes ngesmu. Saya enggak sabar ya. Tak ulti ntar.
Mid.
Oh, tak
Satchel out. Nightmare's over.
Satchel out.
Sage killed.
Spike planted.
asli.
Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
Gas, bareng ay. Go. Ayo wes.
Low, Cok, low.
Yes, gua aja dah. Beda, Cok, kalau nggak ada smoke, Cok. Anjing emang.
Reloading.
I don't know where your frenzy, bro. Sorry.
They think we wouldn't fight back? Dead wrong.
Can I get this?
Beli no, Hasan.
Thanks.
Oh, dibeli
Mana?
no, Hasan. Terus dibeli no.
Courage out.
Thanks.
I got you, bruv.
Get out of my way, Larry of Here
comes the party. Enemy spotted A.
Sorry. Nggak tahu kalau lu mau. Eh.
You fought well.
Spike planted.
Sage revive me in screen.
Initiated.
Screen. Here. I ping you.
Wait. I ultimate.
Revive. Fast, bro. Revive. Oh my god.
One enemy remaining.
Go. Cover teh.
Last player standing.
Pakai senjata busuk, Cok.
Cok.
Bisa main itu, sajinya.
Don't start resting. Still work to do.
Let me be. Just let me be. Hello, Phoenix.
Turret out.
Ayo combo, Cok. Pasang drone mu, Cok. Ayo, drone.
Aku apa, Cok?
Caution here. Need help. Enemies are close.
Wall raised.
B.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Langsung yo, Cok. Ngekontol, Cok.
Somebody out.
Siapa itu? Careful, flank. Careful.
Reloading.
Flank. Mid. One mid.
Satisfying.
Revive Phoenix or me.
Last player standing.
Nice try.
I can hold an
Nah,
area
lagi
pretty
nak.
well myself.
Kantong
Make
mo,
sure to
kantong,
cover the
kantong.
angles I can't.
Mana, Cok?
Thanks. Placing sentry.
Nice.
Stumble now.
Iron.
Barrier created.
OP dah.
Iya, OP, Jet OP.
Shot set.
Found them. Bomb grenade
Spike down B.
You will
Heal,
not
heal,
kill
save,
my
save.
allies.
Ah, flank.
30 seconds left.
Go. Aduh.
Wait.
Kananmu persis.
Iya.
Mereka crossfire itu, crossfire kiri kanan, hati-hati.
Ten seconds left. Spike planted. Last
ayo.
player standing.
Wah, dari event, Cok.
Even.
One enemy remaining.
Kanan. Mau dipisah gak teli, Cok.
Like you could stop me.
Parah sih, mau dipisah.
Saya pelurunya habis deh.
Tek OP, cari OP. Nah, mantap. Enggak belum.
Pelurunya habis, gak berani reload.
New back, new tactics. Keep it fresh, yeah?
KA gitu.
Kamu pakai OP kah? Guys, tak beliin. Kalau kamu mau pakai yang lain. Oh yes, oke.
Turret out.
Oke, Bray. The next you have ulti. Okay. Wait. I hear the sound. The ulti. Wait. Ah, there's one.
Barrier created.
Spike down mid.
Spike spotted mid.
Bomb buddy out.
Terus masuk tapi ini.
Masuk.
Spike planted.
Jets grounded.
One enemy remaining.
Here. Mana? Garage sini loh.
Placing swarm grenade.
Ada ulti, sofa ada ulti, careful. Ah, wih, lari, loncat. Bunny hop. Defuse aja,
Defuse.
apa-apa.
Found them.
Kamu hold angle.
Last player standing.
Defuse mo.
Imagine if I died right now.
Ambil OP-nya, OP.
Don't
Nice.
deserve my
Kasih aku.
Hancur. Asu line AP.
Look at me.
Bisa
I
main
know
dia.
that I am by your side.
Request aja.
Can I get this? Can someone get this? Thanks.
Aku KA.
Can someone get this?
Main itu aja yo. Main apa? Crossfire yo. Kon masuk kowe langsung kalau misalnya mereka ngarah ke aku.
Placing sentry.
Can someone get this?
Lino itu loh.
I don't have money. Sorry.
Terus tapi.
Hold angle yang lain aja teh.
Wall raised.
Enggak, aku anak hewan. Hewan, robot.
Go get him.
Info tolong. Naik. Wes di atas itu.
Here goes him.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Your duty is not over. Get out of my way.
Spike down A.
Jets grounded.
Satchel out.
Cok, kaget cok. Asu.
Tangkap deh yo. Ya apa ini?
Here.
Hold angle aja, kamu jaga sana. Nah ya, jaga situ aja.
30 seconds left.
Oh, bom spike drop
Spike
sih.
is. Enemy spotted.
Kontol bisanya miss. Tahan aja, tahan.
10 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Mampus.
This Scheiße hurts.
Deg-degan kontol.
Last round in the half.
Last round to use our creds and abilities.
Don't waste your firepower.
I need a drop.
Turret out.
Can I get a drop?
Beli
Buy armor,
itu.
buy armor. Sage, buy armor.
They can't even make a dent.
Wall raised.
Jangkrak. B. Finish in. Careful. B.
Come on, let's go.
Aduh,
Cok,
sayang.
cok.
Enemies.
Wait.
Last player standing.
Aduh.
Spike planted.
You're out. Careful now.
There.
Going up.
Alah, 2 lawan 1. Susah.
Use flash.
Flash.
One enemy remaining.
Wow. Mantap jiwa. Anjay. Bisa gitu, Cuk. Tapi low KB sih. Mantap.
Oh, you thought you put up a fight?
Switching sides.
I like this game.
Mabar aja terus.
Reloading.
Continue to overwhelm them.
Awas sofa scan.
Bomb buddy out.
Oh, mbak flash.
Traveling.
Reloaded.
Someone's A.
Someone's in
Placing sentry. For you.
One enemy remaining.
Killed.
Kalau nggak ada smurf kontol aja jancuk lah. Oke.
Stand tall. We are Valorant. We are fighters.
I'm buying.
Buy Ryzen.
Jelas, Bro. Gua judge gaming, Bro. Wah, bangsat, aku bercanda, Cuk. Padahal aku mau beli Spectre, Cuk. Kontol.
Gak bisa, cok. Terus dibuang.
Kontol.
Reloading.
Going out.
Enemy spotted.
Cover going out. Reload him.
Dapat kill, Bro.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
You entry and flash, Bro. Phoenix. Please. Ah, go.
Susah, Cok.
Aduh, aduh.
Last player standing.
Kiri atas, kiri.
Good.
Heaven. Heaven 1, bawah sini 1 paling. Tidak.
One enemy remaining.
Benar kan? Ambil bomnya ke B wes. Apa yang dipikir?
Bomnya mana, Cok?
Konco.
Terus
30 seconds left.
gak nutup, Cok. Ya apa, Cok?
20 detik, Cok.
Ya wes lah, YOLO ya.
YOLO wes, karepmu wes.
Dapat, Cok.
My genius doesn't stop in the lab.
You go.
Can I get this? Thanks.
Reload it.
Dari sini, scan-nya sofa.
Di mana?
Tembak. Di daerah sini. Tembak
Oke.
scan.
Wait, don't boss Sage and Phoenix. Wait.
Nah, hafal gak?
Here.
Boleh, Sob?
Wah, kontol.
Eliminate.
Lumayan dapat vandal.
Bajingan. Itu tuh loh, B-nya udah di-clear. Mau. Lari mau. Gas. Lari. Udah di-clear B.
Phoenix fake A.
Someone's in defender spawn.
Ah, awas. Ketakmu itu, bro.
Phoenix fake A.
Wes di-clear.
Just shooting.
Phoenix. Wes kosong, Cok. Di-clear wesan.
Awas, Cok, sampai ono aku mati, Cok.
Cepet, Cok. Dari situ aja. Mid-nya nggak tahu tapi aku. Kesana. Dia jaga sana soalnya. Kan masuk ke garage saya, masuk ke garage.
Placing sentry.
Nah, wes.
Snuffed out.
One enemy remaining.
Ah, wes. Menang. Terus ngapain, Cok? Kan ada botmu.
Yo, lek musuh pinter ditembak botku.
Makanya, nggak mungkin situ, wes. Oh iya, ada bom ya.
Going up.
Defusing, Cok. Cok. Ayo, nyalain.
Belum, Cok, belum. Ada tip.
Lari. Bom. Oh, sebenarnya. Wah, mati. Bajingan. Minta mau. Andal mau. Phantom. Beliin Phantom. Cepet.
Vandalku di mana, Cok?
Can I get this?
Di jet, Cok. Di siapa ini? Di jet. Vandal set. Thank you.
By Spectre. Yuk.
Scan sofa.
Bajingan. Pakai OP, Cok.
Pantes kok nggak nge-scan.
Going up.
Angel. Tire kerocot. Oke, tire.
Reloading. Enemy spotted. A. For you. Satchel out.
Kalian rame-rame aja, rame-rame. Careful, Sage.
Reloading.
Anjir, buta, Cok.
Nice.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Reloading.
Here.
My friend. Hello?
Take the op.
Yes.
Reload him.
Spike down. Turret out. There.
Ayo.
Here goes the pain.
No charges. Enemy spotted A.
Anjing. OP.
Match point.
We
Lalu,
win
bro.
this battle. We win this war.
Bro.
Kok DE cok?
Enggak dia beli juga cok nggak tahu. Wah, down OP itu, please. Terserah wis.
As one.
Aku pikin dulu ya, Kan enak tuh. Aku.
Duar nenek.
My
Aku ini.
ultimate is not ready.
Come on, let's go.
Sage, take up and heal me. Take up and heal me. Up, there.
Barrier clear.
Nice.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Heal me.
Your duty is not over. Enemy spotted. A.
Heal please.
Healing you. Turret out.
Thanks.
Drop the bomb. Sage, drop the bomb.
Spike drop.
Kasih aku. Aku ada ulti. Cepet.
Ulti sen. Ayo ke B.
B. Oh, A-nya lo kosong, Cok. Ngapain B, Cok?
Gak apa-apa B aja
One
cok.
enemy remaining.
Ayo B aja cok.
Barriers down.
Wes, gas. Mantap.
Attackers win.
Now to mend what we have broken.
Match found.
Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade. Turret out. Turret destroyed.
Taken out.
Spike down, C. One enemy remaining.
They should probably reevaluate their approach. Placing alarm bot. Placing swarm grenade.
Watch and learn.
Placing sentry. Turrets destroyed.
Spike down, C.
Enemy spotted.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Scanning ahead.
Last player standing.
Enemies close. Eyes up.
Placing alarm bot. Placing swarm grenade.
Blind their scout.
Placing sentry.
There. Enemy spotted A.
Bot coming back. Recalling my bot. Enemy spotted A.
Last player standing.
Got one.
Brimstone, if you must leave, then leave well. Where do we go?
Turret out. Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade. Turret down. Get out of my way. I've got your trail.
Spike planted.
You are divided.
They will cover!
They look like us, but are they us? I have so many questions. Turret out. Placing alarm bot. Placing swarm grenade.
Stay down.
Revealing
Placing
area.
swarm grenade.
Reloading.
Bot coming back.
Last player standing.
Is everyone's tech still working? Double check it, please. Placing sentry. Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade.
We win. We survive.
Scanning ahead.
There.
Recalling my bot. Recalling my bot.
I am the hunter.
Launching smoke. Smoke's down.
Spike planted.
Enemy down.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Clutch.
My quiver is never full.
Turret out. Placing alarm bot. Bot coming back. Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade. Ah, turret down. You are divided.
Revealing area.
Enemy spotted C.
Spike planted.
Here.
Launching smoke.
Out of charges. Right here. Out of charges. Shock dart. Shock dart. Shot down.
Your duty is not
One enemy remaining.
Reloading.
I will not die here. Blasphemy.
Reloading.
Look your enemy in the eye. It helps with accuracy.
Can I get this? Thanks. Placing alarm bot. Placing swarm grenade. Placing sentry.
Spike down mid.
Enemy
Recalling my bot.
There. There.
Get out of my way! For you.
Smoke's down. Reloading. Launching smoke.
Thirty seconds left.
Enemy spotted A.
Bot coming
One
back.
enemy remaining.
We got 5. That's bingo.
And the last thing they'll see before they die.
Weapon here.
Lucky them.
Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade. Placing sentry. Forward.
Nowhere to run!
Found them. Alarm bot down. Swarm grenade out. Turrets destroyed.
Many enemies. Enemy spotted C.
Scanning ahead.
Spike spotted C.
Enemy down. Oh!
Deploying drone.
One enemy remaining.
Never hope to my turret one day.
Don't die. If you need help figuring out how, just ask.
I've got cash. Anyone need something?
Can I get this? Thanks. Alarm bot out. Time for a field test. Turret out.
There. They will cover.
Recalling my bot.
The rush. Found them.
Spike down A.
Spike spotted
Here.
A.
Wall raised.
Right here.
Omen killed.
One enemy remaining.
Deploying drone.
Spikes
Here. Revealing area.
They were not good.
Remember to talk to each other out there. If we communicate, we win.
Placing alarm bot. Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade. Placing sentry.
Guy killed. Disappoint me. Enemy spotted A.
Scanning ahead.
Here. Found them.
Launching smoke.
One enemy remaining. Spike down mid.
Reloading.
30 seconds left.
Spike spotted mid.
Here. Who could have predicted this? All right.
Last round before the switch.
We cannot keep our goods after this. Spend all. Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade. Turret out.
They want to die. Let them. There.
Last player standing. Spike planted. Switching
Once more into
sides.
battle. I'm not tired. Are you?
There.
Revealing area.
Reloading. Reloading. Turret out.
Molly.
Turret planted. Alarm bot out. Barrier created.
Right here. Enemy spotted C. Reloading.
One down.
Reloading.
Reloading. Reloading. Reloading. Turret down.
One enemy remaining.
Found them.
I expected better of them.
Frag here.
Pick them off. Scanning ahead.
Sentry. Reloading.
There they are.
Smoke's down.
Enemy spotted A. Now we're cooking.
Planted.
Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
Here.
Flawless.
Loading.
We all did our part. Reloading.
Stay alive. I want their life, not yours.
Safety's off.
Enemy spotted, see.
Our spike carriers got the spike.
Spike down mid.
Our spike carrier is dead.
Last player standing.
Perfect accuracy. That's done. Oh.
Deep breaths, everyone. Your hearts are pounding.
Let us hunt. Die.
Right here. Right here.
Here. Unavoidable.
Molly!
Light planted. Barrier created. Turret out.
Reloading.
Here.
One enemy remaining.
Placing swarm grenade.
Flawless.
Flawless. What did they expect? Everyone makes fun of German efficiency. Ha ha. Just keep laughing as you use all my gear.
Reloading. Launching smoke.
Your duty is not over. They will cower.
Placing sentry.
There they are.
Spikes down. Placing alarm bot. Placing swarm grenade.
Deploying drone.
Get out of my way!
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
See nothing. My heart's racing.
My power does not ebb. Ask for aid, and you shall receive. Loading. Loading. Reloading. Enemy spotted. Variable removed.
Smoke's down.
Healing you.
Scanning ahead.
Turret out.
Launching smoke.
Still inside. Wall raised. Placing alarm bot. Light planted. Placing swarm grenade. Enemy spotted. Mid.
Volley.
Turret down.
Enemy spotted C. There. Enemy spotted C. No.
One enemy remaining.
Swarm grenade out.
Match point.
Their winter has come. Bury them.
You know what to do.
Embarrassed.
You are divided.
Spike down A.
I have the spike. Fall back.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
3 souls. I have the spike.
Thirty seconds left. Clutch. Attackers win.
Racing. Is the breathing? Excellent. Then we're done.
Match found.
Again.
Between you and me, Silver, there's nowhere they can hide. How fun.
Scanning ahead.
Enemy spotted A.
Let's go away. We got opening there.
Nailed them.
What?
Launching smoke.
Red kicked me from that distance. And it
Smoke's down.
Never mind. Two here. Yeah, Jan said.
Smoke down.
See ya.
Spotted A.
One
enemy
left.
remaining.
One here. Yeah, so one left. Told you.
Siege 105. Inside, yep, there. Never mind.
Yeah, again,
Went
Jay.
out already.
Again,
Nice.
I will put their Viper down. It is mercy.
Thanks.
Let us hunt. Scanning ahead.
Launching smoke.
Still in sight.
Here.
Viper 90.
One enemy remaining.
Down.
Just continue to watch that bridge.
Stim beacon down.
Like it. class. Nice.
Nice! Killed it! And them. We definitely killed them.
Okay, let's get set up.
Revealing area.
Spike down A.
Our spike carrier's dead.
I got the spike. Reloading. Reloading.
Healer killed.
Come. I'm Vivo with the spike.
Okay. Oh, fuck me.
Last player standing.
You got this.
Spike planted.
You got it.
You want me serious? You got it. Footsteps. Left.
I know. You know, ping the spike.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god, you're insane. What
Oh,
the
wow.
hell? Are you like
Can you
silver? Are you silver?
Can you see the Phoenix
Jet,
line again?
you were amazing.
You want me serious? You got it.
Nice.
Jeez, are you guys silver? Damn, son. I'm only bronze on my other account, so like, yeah, I'm new. Jeez.
Take everything.
Oh my god, okay, you're Smurf? Oh god.
Revealing area. Right here.
Molly.
Right here.
Behind the box, Reyna. Careful.
Shock dart.
Totally careful.
Stim beacon here.
Didn't expect it was Steve.
Oh, 105.
Too many.
Last player standing.
You got it.
One.
Who trained you?
Uh-oh.
Oh no. That's not good.
Save. They already did this.
Try to catch one of them. Catch one, just catch one.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Nice try.
Cypher, just tell me where they are. I'll do the rest.
Okay.
I have extra money if anyone needs. Airdrop. Thank you.
Scanning ahead.
Headshot.
Right here.
The hunt begins.
The rest is at B, you can plan, I think. Go Viper.
Planted.
Even CT. Oh no.
You should run.
Revealing area. Found them.
No, it doesn't work then, bro. Just hold. They can defuse. Both there. So far. You have Marshall.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
I am
Thank you.
Prometheus. And you.
Oh no. Oh no.
Blink and they'll catch up. Stay alert.
For you, hermanita. Get out of my way!
Revealing area.
Jeez, the jet is insane. You want to pick up my phantom there?
What? Tower, KJ towers.
Put down.
Okay.
Where is everyone?
Bro,
hiding?
I'll that side. I'll You're gonna die.
Spike down B.
Both there.
Last player standing.
That wave, bro. Okay. That wave. 7-1.
30 seconds left.
Right, does this RNG is
If
great.
they try something, I'll see it.
Oh, you guys want to eco one round? We can afford to eco. Or small shield. I think you can go with small shield.
Keep up.
You guys want to go with big shield? Okay.
Watch this!
Scanning ahead.
And I have the spike.
Spectra.
Got the spike.
Fuck am I?
Enemy spotted A.
That's just
Motherfucker.
one more there, bring another. Turret.
One tap. Let's go, one tap.
Rotate, now rotate.
Launching smoke.
Cypher, open the door to this distract.
Last
spike
player
carrier is
standing.
killed.
Spike down A.
Careful, slow.
Thirty seconds left.
Nice try.
Watch them run when lit by my sonar. That's when we strike.
You can rush B.
Track them down. Scanning ahead.
Gotcha.
Goodbye.
Last 2B. KJ and Sage B. Let's go ahead.
Our spike
Carrier
carrier
is killed.
Why are you dying?
Spike down
here?
B.
Last one coming to B.
Cage triggered. I have retrieved the spike. Is
What?
B.
Cypher, bro. You know you body locked me to get that skin. Go B.
Cutting their vision.
Go B. One here, one mid, one mid.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining. Clutch.
You forget. I always play high stakes.
I'll teach them to respect their elders.
Need a drop. Thanks.
Need a drop. Need a drop. Thanks.
I have money if you need.
Need a
Need a
drop.
drop.
Thanks. Deep breath. Revealing area.
Stim beacon here.
I think they're rotating. They're rotating to A. They're rotating to A. Come B. Come B.
Go B, go B, go B. Rena, Rena, Rena.
Reyna, come B.
Oh,
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Oh no.
Spike
why are
down
you
A.
rushing in at this spike and why are you even carrying this spike? You could do this.
Daddy long D.
On the money.
Last player
Standing ahead.
standing.
Found them.
Motherfucker.
Their lives are so meaningless. Might as well give them to me.
I am so broke right now. You don't even know.
Revealing area.
Go ahead.
Spike planted.
The hunt begins.
Just hide. I got enough angle. Bro, hide.
I am the hunter.
Let's fall down.
Revealing area. There they are.
Last player standing.
Wind, show me where to go.
Let's take what they have.
Welcome to my world.
Enemy spotted A.
Right here.
Please, someone
Get out of
pick
my
with
way.
me when you say there is enough.
Scanning ahead.
Fuck.
Cypher's gonna die. Rena's waiting. Back off.
Enemy spotted. No hard feelings. Where is everyone
Wait.
hiding?
Brim cannot. No, never mind.
Open up.
Two. Just hold flank.
Point carrier is killed.
Corner.
Left.
Spike down
On her right.
A.
On her right.
One enemy remaining.
You have a camera. Set.
Planted.
You should play on the traps, bro. You don't have to watch that angle.
Launching smoke.
Bro, he can't pass your trap. And if he passes the door, you're gonna sound.
Left me no choice, kid.
Last round in the half.
Don't be cheap. Weapon here. Spend it all before it's gone.
Scanning ahead.
At the spike.
Motherfucker.
Night night.
Go away.
Spike down. Attacker spawn. Last player standing.
What's this?
Thirty seconds left.
I got the spike.
Switching
Stay taut
sides.
as a bowstring. The fight demands it. Come into the unknown. Revealing area.
Smoke's down.
Okay.
Multiple enemies.
A.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Stay in range of my stim beacon, and we'll mow them down.
Revealing area.
B.
Enemy spotted B.
Shock dart.
Spam or something.
Spike planted.
Very
Last player standing.
What do you say, drone? Ready to stretch your wings? Scanning ahead.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
We got this. Let's go.
Revealing area.
Spike down A.
Now.
Hard drop here.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
Bye. Blocking sight.
Pay attention. Might learn something. Smoke's down.
Scanning ahead.
Enemy spotted B.
You should run.
Enemy spotted B.
Get out of my way.
Enemy spotted.
Spike planted.
Stim beacon down.
Last player standing.
Let's ruin their day.
Track them down. Scanning ahead.
Watch this! Invicto. Where is everyone hiding? Gun here.
Spike down A.
Shock dart.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Revealing area.
Deep breaths, everyone. Your
Reloading.
hearts are pounding.
Revealing area.
You will not kill my allies!
I am the hunter!
They will cover.
Right here.
The hunt begins.
Spike planted.
One on the stairs.
Last player standing.
Bad.
Match point.
My smokes can block the enemy's line of sight. Once they're blind, move.
Reloading.
Launching smoke.
Scanning ahead.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
Even.
Right here.
Smoke's down.
Last player standing.
Ah.
Attackers win.
With all the hype surrounding Battlefield 2042, I figured now would be as good a time as ever to go back and revisit the latest entry of the series, Battlefield 5. This game has a very interesting position among the fan base. There were a lot of questions things said by developers and EA executives at launch. A lot of fans boycotted the game out of protest, and ultimately, Battlefield 5 didn't sell very well at all. In fact, it was such a forgettable game that Battlefield really wasn't the topic of discussion until the 2042 announcement. I used to be a really big fan of the series. I played a lot of Battlefield 4, Hardline, and Battlefield 1 when they came out, but I had never tried Battlefield 5 because, well, it frankly just didn't sound very good. But that was almost 3 years ago now, so playing in 2021, I was playing what I'm hoping is the best version of the game, and giving Battlefield 5 a fair shot without any biases from all the controversy from a few years ago. And honestly, the game really isn't that bad. It definitely may lack some of the creativity and inspiration from previous Battlefield titles, but still felt like Battlefield. It still had that large, all-out chaotic warfare that was always a ton of fun for me. I think one of the main reasons this game can feel very underwhelming and uninspired for many people, and even a little for me, was the setting. World War II has been done quite a lot in the FPS genre at this point, and it's getting a bit redundant. I grew up on the modern / near futuristic battlefields, and those settings were really innovative and unique. Fighting atop skyscrapers that collapsed as the match progressed, and riding in helicopters and using those extremely satisfying weapons in BF4, it was what made me fall in love with Battlefield. And even though I prefer the modern setting, I still really loved Battlefield 1. It was very gritty and immersive, and it was a nice change of pace for the series, but I think Battlefield 5's World War II setting just came out at the wrong time. This game also came out a year after Call of Duty had just done World War II as well, keep in mind, so I think everyone was a bit tired of the older settings. Not only that, but there's also a lot of historical inaccuracies in Battlefield 5, which was a large issue in all the controversy at launch. Things like face paints and flashy camos, prosthetics, and there was the whole argument about women being on the battlefield for the factions. This had a lot of people thinking that DICE and EA were more focused on trying to be politically correct rather than historically accurate. Now, Battlefield has never really been extremely realistic to begin with, but nonetheless, the way EA handled this was absolutely terrible, and their CCO probably said the most EA quote I've ever heard, and that was, "Accept it or don't buy the game." As a company trying to sell this game to your fans and trying to make money, you probably shouldn't give people an ultimatum like that. But we all know people who work up in the higher-ups at EA have no contact with the outside world, so... But regardless of all that controversy, I really just wanted to take the game in for what it actually is, and try not to have any predetermined biases or judgments, and it turns out it's actually a pretty solid game. It's not bad at all. Sure, it may not be on the level of other previous titles, but I still enjoyed the game quite thoroughly. DICE's map design and visuals continue to be some of the best I've played in first-person shooters. The visuals are absolutely stunning, and the maps look so authentic. They all have great environmental variety, and each plays out differently. There's large open fields, tight corridors and alleys, buildings, islands, and they all look incredible aesthetically. Now, probably what you're wondering is what the player base is like right now. Is it active? Is it quick to find games? And it really depends when you play and what game modes you play on. Also, keep in mind, I'm on PC, so there's likely more people playing on consoles, but for modes like Conquest and Pacific War, the game is very active. Most times it took under 10 seconds to find a game. But for game modes like Outpost, just grand operations and team deathmatch, it would be very inconsistent. Sometimes it would be very quick and easy, and other times it would be near impossible to find a game, and it'll just put you in lobbies with only like 2 players. But usually at night, it was very easy to find games for TDM and grand operations. The only mode where I could never find a full game for, no matter what, was Firestorm, the Battle Royale mode. Nobody talks about this Battle Royale, and that's likely because nobody plays it. It's only 64 players, and I struggled to get above 5 in my lobbies. So I really didn't get to properly test out the BR. I mean, the zone looks cool, and it destroys buildings as it moves past them, but yeah, that's about all I got. It's a good thing Battlefield is moving away from Battle Royale. The gunplay in multiplayer is extremely satisfying, and for the most part, weapons feel really good. Although the guns kind of feel like laser beams and are a bit too accurate for World War II guns in my opinion. They definitely have recoil, but it's like really easy to control. Sniping, like always, is one of the most satisfying things you can do in this game, and I'd say for the most part, the game feels pretty balanced. The starting weapons are all pretty solid, and while there's definitely some much better ones you'll unlock, it doesn't feel like any gun is extremely overpowered and broken, at least not from what I experienced. This game had a new revival system. Basically, anytime you die, you get this brief time where you're bleeding out on the ground, and you can either choose to wait it out and hope a medic or squad member comes to revive you, or you can just skip that and respawn right away. I've heard a lot of mixed opinions on this revive system. On the one hand, I like it because it makes playing as a medic and being a team player really helpful to your team, but it also makes the whole respawn process really lengthy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the top 10 new PC games to play. This one for the month of October 2021. We're really getting into the thick of things now. The next couple of months are going to be very busy when it comes to new games to check out. I mean, even now there's a lot going on. Last week we got Kenya and Diablo 2. This week we had the launch of Lemnis Gate, which is neat. And the big one everyone's talking about, of course, New World, which I know personally will be keeping me busy for a while. Once I'm done with that though, it does look like there's plenty of other games on the horizon to look forward to in October. We've got a few indie titles that seem really neat, like this Survival RTS, a narrative-driven horror game, the sequel to Darkest Dungeon. There's also a couple of new MMOs being released. Well, there's one new MMO technically, the other one is a tiny MO. I'll explain that later. The RTS genre might be making a comeback with this latest installment of a classic. And then beyond that, October is also the start of the AAA blockbuster holiday release season. What that means is we're going to be getting some massive, highly anticipated big budget games coming as well. There's a lot to cover here, some really great looking games, and we'll get into that right after a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored once again by the immersive sci-fi space MMO EVE Online. This is the same game you often hear about due to its massive large-scale PvE and PvP battles. In fact, they have quite literally set a few Guinness World Records with the scale of these things. It's kind of insane, actually. But beyond that, the big battles, EVE offers plenty of other things for you to do. You can explore its thousands of star systems, engage in the game's various politics, piracy, and of course trading, as it does feature a player-driven economy. If you've ever been interested, now is one of the best times to jump into the game. EVE's most recent quadrant update called Gateway brought with it an overhauled new player experience, introduced improvements to the skill system, along with skill plans which are meant to help guide you through some of the important early game decisions to make sure you don't make any big mistakes. Jumping into EVE for the first time right now will take you through a brand new story-driven training experience. This is much more immersive and detailed than anything they've had in the past, and is mainly aimed at just helping new players get their bearings in such a big game. So yeah, if you are interested in checking out EVE for yourself, you can register using the link below in the video description. In fact, doing so will end. This is a dark fantasy survival RTS where you must illuminate, build, and defend humanity's last bastion against hordes of enemies. During the day, internally from one of 3 randomly selected blessings Of course, send us on all sorts of side missions, doing various tasks, and then of course, there are going to be bases to clear. It will not be a Far Cry game without clearing bases. So we'll have to scout and take on these various enemy encampments. We'll get to choose from a wide variety of different tools and weapons at our disposal. You know, some people like to go in loud, guns blazing, throwing grenades, tripping alarms. Me, I usually am all about stealth in these games. I like to tag every single enemy in a compound before I move in and then take them down one at a time. It's going to be a pretty interesting arsenal of unique weapons here as well, all kind of cobbled together by our guerrilla allies. And there's also an assortment of vehicles to ride, as you expect, like cars, bikes, helicopters, even tanks and horses. And we'll make use of animal companions that fight by our side, including this wiener dog, alligator, and a rooster. And then finally, the big point that I saw for this game is that it's going to feature this fairly large, sprawling capital city, which apparently is a new thing for a Far Cry game. Esperanza, they say it's called. So Far Cry 6 is coming to consoles, PC, and Stadia on October 7th for $59.99. And I mean, as far as a Far Cry game goes, this looks pretty interesting. If I have the time, I think I'd like to give this one a look. Next on our list is Book of Travels. I've talked about this a few times in the past, but let me give you guys a recap. This is an atmospheric online RPG that takes place in this hand-drawn and enjoyable photo playing aspect and special events and encounters. So you'll start off in a staging area where you set up your equipment and load out from the weapons and items you have to what cars you pick, which are basically like passive bonuses. And then you start the mission moving through the level, fighting off the ridden, which are the zombies, taking part in special events and battling bosses. Now you'll be able to replay these on various difficulty levels, and there's a director AI system which dynamically makes things more challenging depending on how you play. And then there's the PvP. This is called Swarm. It's a 4 vs 4 cleaners vs ridden round-based mode. Matches are in a best-of-3 format, with each team of 4 taking turns playing as the cleaners and the ridden. Now, when I played the PvP, I just didn't think it was any fun, honestly. The biggest thing was there was just way too much downtime in between each round, with the cleaners getting a long time to do their scavenging process. And then when you actually got to play the game and fight the other team, the rounds were just way too short. To add on top of this, all of the maps that we played were super tiny. I just didn't enjoy the PvP, but I did really like the co-op campaign, and I could certainly see myself playing this game for a bit. Back 4 Blood is coming to the PC and consoles on October 12th for $59.99. Moving on, our next game this month is Elion, an upcoming traditional Eastern-styled MMORPG that looks to be delivering much of what you would expect from a theme park MMO. This is also a game that I played. They had a beta the other month, and I came away from this game feeling like it was just okay. It wasn't terrible, but it also didn't do anything that blew me away, at least when it comes to my first impressions. It's got a fairly linear leveling experience. You'll move from zone to zone, following the main story and completing side quests from these NPCs that you found in each zone's small town. Leveling in the game actually looks to be fairly quick. I think I got to level 30 in just one afternoon of playing the beta. The game does feature an action combat system similar to Terra. In fact, I don't have much Terra experience, but people say it's nearly identical. Basically, the style here is that you use these AoE and cleave attacks to take down big groups of enemies. And I thought combat was genuinely the strong suit from when I played it. It felt really good. It was responsive. There were nice animations and feedback. I can certainly see why people would enjoy this game just for the combat alone. Now, outside of that, Elion also ticks all of the typical standard content boxes. It's got dungeons, raids, there are world bosses, there's a housing system. In terms of PvP, there are arenas, battlegrounds, open world RVR. Like I said, it has most of what you expect out of a theme park MMO, including a cash shop. It sure as hell has one of those. Now, like I said, I played Elion. I thought it was okay. I do think that their decision to delay the game a few weeks was smart, because originally it was supposed to come right after New World. Changing that was a good idea. New World has really taken off. It's super popular right now, but odds are by the time Elion comes out in a few weeks, some people will be moving on, possibly me included. So Elion is launching on the PC on October 20th. Now, originally the game had a base price of $29.99. However, they have changed that and decided to go free to play. I don't know what this means for their cash shop. They said it's not going to change. It wasn't really especially good in the first place, but hey, you know what? It's a new free-to-play MMO for people to check out. So if you're tired of New World by October 20th, you'll have something else to to give a look at least. Next up, we've got the Dark Pictures anthology House of Ashes. Now, as the name implies, this is part of a series. There's the standalone cinematic branching horror games where the decisions you make determine the story and the outcome of the game. Now, this is the third installment of 8 total games that are planned for this anthology. House of Ashes in particular takes place at the close of the Iraq War, where the special forces that were hunting for weapons of mass destructions unearth a buried Sumerian temple containing unearthly creatures. They say here, in order to survive the night below, they must forge a brotherhood with their enemies from the world above. Ooh. So it's a cinematic branching horror game that's all about the decisions you make in each moment. And again, these are severe decisions, life or death situations, quite literally. So you'll navigate this underworld and fight your way through the buried Sumerian temple against these hordes of deadly monsters. The game will feature the 2 critically acclaimed multiplayer modes from their prior games. You can either share the story online with a friend, or you can play offline with their 5-player Pass the Pad mode. Now, the first 2 games in this anthology were fairly well received. They've got pretty good Steam reviews last I looked. Personally, I haven't played either one of these. I don't know how much like story-driven horror games are really my thing, but this does look cool. It was absolutely worth a mention. So the Dark Pictures anthology House of Ashes is coming to the PC and consoles on October 22nd for $29.99. Next up, we have got Darkest Dungeon 2. Yes, Darkest Dungeon's sequel. Now, the darkness, which you had to use torches to combat. The original game was amazing. I loved it, and I played quite a bit of it. In fact, I think I've got a playthrough series on the channel. Some of the major features of this series was this affliction system. So not only are you fighting monsters, but also just stress. You'll contend with paranoia, masochism, fear, irrationality, and a host of gameplay meaningful quirks. An innovative turn-based combat that pits you against a host of diabolical monsters. There's the narration system that celebrates your success and failures. The narrator was a huge part of that original game. A bunch of different playable hero classes with their own unique strengths and weaknesses. It was just a really cool game. You should definitely check out the original if you haven't. Now, Darkest Dungeon 2 will just be expanding on that base game. They'll be adding new content areas, enemies, and features. At least I assume they will. I have seen zero specifics about the sequel. I looked on the game's official website. I looked on the store page where the game is being sold. I looked on all of the YouTube videos released for this game. I didn't see any specifics in terms of what's new and what they're adding. Normally, I game from Heart Machine, the studio that made Hyper Light Drifter, a very critically acclaimed indie title. And it's for that reason alone that I think there's some pretty high expectations for Solar Ash. So this game will be plunging us into a surreal, vivid, and highly stylized world. You're just never stopping moving. You're just doing combat as you're traversing the world. This game has an amazing look to it. I love the style. I love it and had a blast. I made a full video as a child, but regardless, I had a good time. It has the tried and true RTS experience, meaning you start off with one main base and some workers, and then you set them out harvesting resources, you scout for the enemy, gather more resources, start building up homes, military stuff, get some upgrades, amass a huge army, and attack your enemy. It is that kind of an RTS. It's also a big part of this is base building, setting up your walls, moving through the ages, all that stuff. Now, according to the game's Steam page, some of the notable features of Age of Empires 4 include familiar but also innovative new ways to play. The game's going to support 4K. There's going to be 8 civilizations with 4 campaigns and 35 missions to play through. They're going to have mod support in early 2022, and there's of course multiplayer. You can compete, cooperate, or spectate with up to 7 players in various modes. And evidently the game's going to have a tutorial to teach the basics of open world extreme sports game. It takes place in a huge seamless open world that is set in these iconic national parks that are all mashed together for this seamless exploration. You'll be coming across but players can race with no limits. Community jams, also a Crysis is getting a remastered trilogy, also like Alan Wake. That's pretty exciting news. Alan Wake is getting a remaster, apparently. That's pretty cool. I am looking forward to that. Crysis is getting a remastered trilogy, also like Alan Wake. That's pretty exciting news. And then lastly, Guardians of the Galaxy. I was actually going to put that on this list until I found out that it was a single player only game. So not only do I not really care about Guardians of the Galaxy as like an IP, I also don't really care for single player only games. So it just couldn't make my list. But I'm sure a lot of people are excited for that. People like Guardians. right? People like Guardians. Anyways, that does it for this month's 10 best new PC games to play list. There's a lot on here that I'm really looking forward to playing. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to be hopping back into New World to play the game some more. Well, I'm going to be hopping into the queue to wait around some more. It's been a little rough. You'd figure if anyone could have stopped like MMO launch week server login times, it would have been Amazon, but apparently not. They're still having issues. Anyways, overall, I'm enjoying the game. I'm going to be playing a bunch more New World, and I'm hoping to do some coverage in the footage if I can gather all my thoughts. Maybe I'll do like a review style video. We'll see. But thank you for watching this video. As always, appreciate your support. Hope you enjoy the content, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.
Amid a sea of seemingly endless looter shooters, Back 4 Blood bucks a lot of recent trends in favor of putting twists on something old-fashioned. After spending 25 hours with this 4-player cooperative first-person shooter, I came to love its glorious white-knuckled tone, clever card-based progression, and varied, fist-pump-worthy campaign. An awkward difficulty curve and a stale versus mode prevent Back 4 Blood from moving into a full-blown sprint, but it still provides an exciting mix of new and old ideas alike as you mow down shambling legions of the undead. Set in a post-apocalyptic world where popping zombies, called ridden here, in the head is as ordinary as brushing your teeth, Back 4 Blood follows a community of survivors trying to not get their jugulars torn out before breakfast. Despite dire circumstances, it's actually a pretty lighthearted romp, with 7 playable characters called Cleaners frequently cracking jokes amid impending doom.
Hey, it could be worse. Could be some creepy old mansion.
My favorite is Carly, a punk rocker who's prone to blaming teammates for standing in the way of her bullets should friendly fire ensue. That surprisingly pleasant attitude pervades combat in Back 4 Blood as well. All too often, I found myself grinning over the utterly absurd sights. Like Sleeper Ridden sitting comfortably in meaty wall-mounted cocoons suddenly springing to life then pinning a teammate to the floor. Or hucking frag grenades into a crowd of living dead only to have the ensuing sinew showers drench my friends. Disgusting. And while all that viscera sometimes makes identifying your enemies annoyingly unclear, the gunplay itself has quite a satisfying kick. The M249 light machine gun packs enough of a wallop at high firing rates that I carried one around whenever possible, particularly if I found any damage-enhancing attachments laying around. Whether you're into high-powered magnums or lightning-fast assault rifles, every weapon feels excellent in Back 4 Blood, even if it's just a bat with a nail or two pounded through it. You can get lost in the shockingly in-depth card system too. Deck building might sound hilariously ill-fitting for a game about rattling off thousands of rounds at walking corpses, but it's maybe my favorite addition to this familiar formula. Before missions you can equip several collectible cards that modify a cleaner's stats and abilities. I wanted to keep up a fast pace on my feet and in the holster, so I built a deck with superior cardio, which increases stamina regen like nobody's business, and Power Swap, adding a hefty 20% damage boon to weapons after swapping between them right before a clip runs dry. Stopping for anything became a fleeting memory with these cards, as I could bolt to and fro, often one-tapping through the undead hordes.
Nothing can hold me, at least not for long.
It's essential to sift through every card you come across while out scavenging in levels too, because attempting Back 4 Blood on its more challenging difficulties is a waste without them. There are 3 difficulties available from the get-go: Recruit, Veteran, and Nightmare. My group initially chose Recruit to find our footing, and we knew it was too easy before long, so we dialed it up to Veteran, and everything went to hell. We got maybe 20 feet out from our mission starting point, and, well, this happened. I love a good challenge, so long as everything is fair. Marching into Back 4 Blood's Veteran or Nightmare difficulties straight away is downright masochistic, however. Especially as debuffs pile up when negative corruption cards enter the mix with more intensity than they do on Recruit. I have a suspicion that Turtle Rock Studios wants everyone to play through Recruit first, similar to how Diablo 2 Resurrected handles its progression curve, but if that's the case, I have no idea why the others are selectable from the start. If nothing else, getting trounced on Veteran or Nightmare gives you a decent excuse to replay Back 4 Blood's wonderfully diverse chapters, each of which contains several unique missions, from desolate, rural towns in the middle of nowhere to entire cityscapes engulfed in mounds of rotting, fleshy overgrowth. Nowhere is safe from this world's collapse. The campaign isn't just a leisurely stroll from safe room to safe room either, as your objectives will shift about quite a bit depending on the circumstances. Not all of Back 4 Blood's attempts at breaking the mold work out though. As is the case with its 4v4, who can outlive the other swarm mode? Sure, having a team of survivors take on a team of Ridden as a battle royale-like circle shrinks the arena sounds cool, but in practice, it's pretty easy to cheese when you're the Ridden. Whenever my friends and I use 2 Hawkers and a pair of tall boys, we decimate the team of survivors. That sort of massive imbalance makes Swarm uninteresting at best and frustrating at worst.
Sorry, don't leave